What's going on, everybody? It's the Hook Cam back again with another film breakdown. This time we're checking out the Pats defense against this Ravens offense. Obviously, a ton of read option. That offensive coordinator, Coach Greg Roman, does a great job running this thing. He was the offensive coordinator at Nevada with Cap. He was the offensive coordinator in San Francisco with Colin Kaepernick, and that's really just evolved with Lamar Jackson. So with all that being said, guys, I hope you enjoy this video. Hope you find it informative. If you do, I would really enjoy it if you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It would help me greatly. So with all that being said, guys, let's dive into this Ravens game. All right, fellas, first play we're going to see from the Ravens is going to be a speed option to the right side. The all speed option is you're essentially reach blocking everything inside the tackle box. You're leaving the end man on the line of scrimmage as the read guy, and you're pitching off of him as an offense, right? Now, the key to this play, in my opinion, for the Ravens is this reach that they get on Lawrence Guy with their play side guard. Right, because when they reach Lawrence Guy with that play side guard, our tackle can now work up to this linebacker, and we're off to the races as an offense. Right now, they leave Kyle Van Noy to get he's the read guy on this play. He's the read key, so you can see that they really work him a couple of different ways. Because with this fullback type, they stretch him out. Right, so now Van Noy is widening on this defense, right? As soon as he turns his hips back like that to attack Lamar, he's going to pitch off of it, and now we're just really working on a safety, and it's an easy read from Mark Ingram. It's an outstanding block from 42 getting up on this play. Okay, now in order to stop this play, you need a couple of things to happen, and it is a difficult play to stop, but not a lot of guys run in the NFL because you don't have the athlete like Lamar Jackson. But you definitely need a safety who's coming down to make a play on this, which is why they motion this cat over. You can't get reached on this, though, and that to me is the X factor on this play, because if Lawrence Guy is firm on this right now, he's not playing the tackle. He's essentially playing the guard, and he should be in this gap, I believe, with this defense. He should be playing in that gap with his hands on the inside shoulder pad of the tackle, I believe. But if Lawrence Guy doesn't get reached on this, then we can have a linebacker flowing over the top and a safety coming down to make a play on this thing. But since 78 gets out to 52, Landon Roberts, we have no backside rush essentially on this, or no force player, I believe it's called. And it's an easy yardage for the Ravens. So that's how they started things off in this game. All right, fellas, next play we're taking a look at is going to be a power read look from the Baltimore Ravens. And all that we're going to see here, right, our tight end's going to work down on Lawrence Guy here playing this defensive end. Our tackle's going to work upfield and cut off of Landon Roberts. We're down blocking with our guard. We're down blocking with our center to this defensive end. We're getting a backside hinge from our tackle, and we're pulling with our guard. Now, in the backfield, right, we are going to stress the defense with a jet sweep look. Coming to the outside here, our quarterback is going to hop with that and read the end man on the line of scrimmage. Okay, now this is where the Ravens, I really think, put the cherry on top of this play. Their fullback runs and influences Kyle Van Noy out, right? See how he's working to almost banana and kick him out? He works out like that and then cuts upfield to block 52. Phenomenal job, because what that does is, number one, it makes the read easier for the quarterback, right? And the quarterback's reading this. If this end man on the line of scrimmage widens out, I'm going to keep this thing and run power. If he comes downhill and attacks power, I'm going to give it, and we're going to run jet sweep and get the edge. Right, so the Ravens put the Patriots defense in such a bind here, not only with the end man on the line of scrimmage, but also with a guy like 52, Landon Roberts. Right, he sees this jet motion look, and look where he's going off the bat. He's trying to come outside. Now he's doing a good job of getting downhill, but he ends up getting blocked on this thing and not being in on the tackle. Really, it's a phenomenal job from Kyle Van Noy to get a hand on this thing and bring Lamar down before he rips it for a first down. So on this play, what you need defensively is you need defensive linemen who are not getting blocked down on this, right? You have to fight across the face. You have to fight pressure with this. And we do a decent job of it, but really I'm looking at the defensive end on this, right? You can't get blocked like that by a tight end. You got to be a bad dude and be good enough to get across the face. Now, again, I don't know all the techniques that they're running in New England, and obviously it's hush hush, and they do a good job of it. So I'm not going to sit here and rip it. But ideally, that's what you want, guys who are able to fight pressure. You have to scrape over the top. You need to be good with your read guy, right? So essentially, on this, I think defensively, what you do is you have him take the dive option, which is the quarterback, and then you have him scraping over the top, right? So Van Noy's taking the dive option, Roberts is scraping over the top in case of that jet sweep, and we also have a safety coming down to help out on that. He's also that force player. Okay, that's ideally, I think, what you would do defensively against this. But again, you're stressing this Patriots defense so much, and this is all. I think this is their second drive, so they're still working on adjusting to this offense at this point in the game. So we're getting a 1st and 10 on the New England, 13 on this play. All that we're going to get from the Ravens is going to be a wide zone to the right look, but we're going to run it with our quarterback so we gain a blocker. Pretty simple blocking wise, right? We're going to work out with him. We're going to work up with him. So, right, our right tackle is going to work to this edge defender. Sorry, I just keep saying him. Our tight end is going to work out to Jamie Collins. Our guard is going to work up to Patrick Chung. Our back is really for 21 on this, but he shoots outside. So Lamar does a really good job of reading that and then cutting it back up. Okay, and now this is where my biggest problem comes with the New England defense on Sunday night, is that they were getting reached way too easily on the interior line. Okay, so watch Danny Shelton on this play. The center does a really good job of getting to that play side shoulder and then just hanging on it and sitting there. And that's ultimately where this thing hits. Right, we have to be more mobile. We have to be fighting across the face. We have to be better at this as far as getting across and fighting pressure. Right, he seems totally okay with sitting in that gap, but what happens here is that he's now in the wrong gap. He should be across his face right here, because if we watch where Dante Hightower shot on this play, he shoots backside A gap. Now you're never going to shoot backside A gap and then have your nose tackle play into that gap as well. Right? Nose tackle, we have to have our head across on this shoulder pad, and we are gap responsible for this play side A gap. Okay, now again, I'm not coaching for them. This is my opinion. This is what I think that they are trying to do. Okay, and that's honestly where I see this play kind of falling apart, is with Danny Shelton getting reached on that, because that's where he eventually cuts it back. Everybody else is doing their job. I think Danny Shelton is content hanging in this backside A gap, and that's ultimately where this thing falls apart. I do want to point out Kyle Van Noy on this play, because this is an outstanding play by 53. He comes all the way down the line of scrimmage to make a play on Lamar. That thing's into the end zone if it's not for him. So a really good play on his behalf. But again, that's where I think that New England's defense started to fall apart, was getting reached too easily and blocked too easily on the interior defensive line. Another play that we're looking at here, 1st and 10 from the Baltimore 25. What the Ravens were doing when they went into this full house backfield, right? And this is something that, as you're watching the game throughout the first and second series, I was like, okay, well, New England has to account for their heavier personnel, right? Because most of what the Ravens run is out of 13 personnel or 12 personnel. Okay, so they started off with 2 defensive linemen and then their edge defenders, who's usually Jamie Collins and John Simon. Well, they went to 3 defensive linemen. They bring in a 5th backer, really, okay, and they end up running like a 3-5 look. Now, Jawan Bentley essentially takes the role of like a Patrick Chung, if that makes sense, in that safety in the box, okay? The Ravens, in order to combat that, they run more of their read option, but they still stress one side of the defense. And from what I noticed with Baltimore is that they constantly did it away from the tight end, right? They didn't do a lot of read option stuff to the tight end side, which is pretty obvious, because that's the strength of the play, that's the strength of the formation, and you're usually going to have a defender on the back side of this thing who's going to be your read guy. Okay, so on this play, what we're going to get is this tackle is arcing out to this linebacker, Jamie Collins, right? Now, what that does, because Adam Butler is our read guy, what that's going to do to him is it's going to widen him, and it's going to make the read a lot easier for Lamar, because it's essentially just a designed give unless he comes firing off upfield to the mesh point. Okay, so we're going to get that tackle arcing out to Jamie Collins on that. Our guard and our center here are going to combo this to the backside backer, and then we're just working out, really, with these 3 onto these 3. Now, with our wings on this play, because this is another major part of this, our wing, 81, is going to arc out as well over here, and all that's going to do is it's going to influence this defense to the left. Right, and you're giving essentially a false read for Jamie Collins, for Adam Butler, and for Dante Hightower. It's going to stress all of them to the left. Now, with our other wing, we're coming across the formation and almost whamming, but we're not whamming the end man on the line of scrimmage. We're working up to Dante Hightower. Okay, so watch how this thing plays out. We see the influence to the left. Hightower does a great job of seeing heels and filling, but 86 does an even better job of working up to him, getting to his inside shoulder pad, and creating a lane for Mark Ingram to run through. Okay, really good job by 86 on this play. The second thing that they do really well is their combo between their center and their left guard. They do an outstanding job getting upfield on this, moving Danny Shelton, but also getting to the backside backer. Right, we kind of see how Danny Shelton picks a side on this thing. He picks the strength of this play, which makes it easy for the left guard to work up and get to that backside backer and just get a hand on of a Landon Roberts. So we can kind of see how things are working out here for the Ravens, right? We influence to the left side of the formation with this arc by both the tackle and this wing. That is an easy read. I could make that read in my sleep. Okay, easy read for Lamar. 86, great job working upfield, getting to the inside shoulder pad of Dante Hightower, and then Mark Ingram's off to the races. Now, very difficult to defend a play like this. Very difficult. And in my opinion, what I would have done, again, I am not an NFL coach, but I'm just saying, what I would have done is I would have put this cat onto the backside of this. Okay, because really every time that I saw like a tight end with his hand in the dirt, and this is still the strength of the formation, they never ran it to this side. They were always optioning the backside. So if you put a cat on the backside of this thing, you can help kind of figure things out, right? Adam Butler gets widened. Well, we have another cat here who's maybe he accounts for the dive option. Jamie Collins is taking the pitch, right? Adam Butler can attack the mesh point. We got Dante Hightower scraping top. Something in that sense, okay? That's what I saw. Maybe that's what I would have done. I don't know, but Lord knows I'm not an NFL coach, so keep me out of that office. But that's essentially what the Ravens were doing, and that's why they were having so much success running this play. All right, fellas, a couple plays later, we get another 1st and 10 out of the Ravens, so we're going to see the exact same thing. Okay, we're going to get an arc from our right tackle to Van Noy. We're going to get another an arc from our wing. Okay, and that's going to influence the backers. That influence, right, that arc from 78, Lawrence Guy does a great job of sinking in the hole here, right, and reading. But what kills us on this play is a Landon Roberts. See how we have 2 backers filling into 1 gap? Anytime you see that, you know something's wrong. Okay, anytime you see that, you know something's up. I think Landon Roberts is supposed to be scraping over the top, and Dante Hightower is supposed to fill, right? Because he actually does a good job of not getting comboed by 73 on this play. But I think that Landon Roberts has to take the wide guy, which is essentially the quarterback, and Dante Hightower is going to take the read guy. But they both go to fill the dive. The dive guy. They go to fill the dive, right? And then Lamar Jackson's off to the races, and he picks up 20 in the blink of an eye. I mean, this is the ability of Lamar Jackson is absolutely insane. The kid is one of the most talented athletes I've ever seen. But again, look at where New England is lining up the strength to this, right? They have Jawan Bentley again on this side of the formation. And again, I'm not saying that he's getting wasted over there. I'm just saying if you filled him back here and you bumped your backers over, maybe it would help. I don't know, though. Maybe it doesn't even fit into their system. So, but again, that's where I think that this play went wrong is we have 2 backers filling into 1 gap, and Lamar's off to the races. Outstanding play call from the Ravens, too, man. They had the Patriots swimming on Sunday. All right, guys, 1st and 10 on the Baltimore 35. This is going to be that long run from Mark Ingram, and once again, it's Danny Shelton getting reached, and that's where this ball eventually hits. So when we see this play, right, very simple blocking-wise, okay, it's going to be wide zone to the left. We're going to block out on 58. We're going to block out on 70. Now, this is the key. My center and my backside guard. My backside guard eventually reaches Danny Shelton, and my center is able to track our middle linebacker on this thing and wall him off. Outstanding job offensive line-wise. It really is. That is a phenomenal job for you as a backside guard to reach our nose tackle. Okay? Now, nose tackle-wise, I think that we have to be a little bit more aggressive, getting hands on the center and not letting that happen as easy. Right? See how we're out of gap? Everybody else is in gap. But when we get reached on this thing, that's where we end up creasing this offensively. Okay, see how we're out of gap here, 51. And now I think that he's a little too far outside. Maybe he can be tighter, but that's really what you have Hightower here for anything that flows backside. He's that force guy. So you can't really get angry at the linebackers on this one. In my opinion, it's Danny Shelton. He has to be better. He can't get reached like this. You have to be more mobile on the defensive line, and that's just too easy of a job to reach, and everybody else is off, right? And Lawrence Guy actually does a really good job on this play because he gets cut on the backside, and he's close to making a play on it. Look, 93 gets up. He's right there. Really good job by 93. He just has to finish it, but again, I think it's Danny Shelton getting reached that really is what breaks this thing eventually, and again, just a big-time play for the Ravens. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and we're going to see the same play that we've already seen twice previously run by the Ravens, right, where we have our tackle arc out as well as our wing, and we're going to read this cat. Now, this is an outstanding play by 51, and I think at this point in the game, Belichick basically told 51, you're hitting the back wherever he goes because he doesn't even flinch on the mark keeping it. I think that that's more for Landon Roberts, but even still on this play from 52. Right, even still on this, I think that he's too far in the gap to really make a play on 8 if he keeps it. Right, we got 3 guys who are looking at the dive key. If Lamar wanted to keep this thing, he's gone. Okay, but again, it just puts your defense at such a disadvantage. It's such a hard offense to take care of, and we've really never seen a quarterback with the ability of eight to carry out this offense and do it effectively. Okay, so Greg Roman, who's the offensive coordinator for the Ravens, he was with Kaepernick at Nevada and with the Niners. And Lamar's a much better athlete than Kaepernick was, and Kaepernick was a good athlete. So again, on this play defensively, though, just to get back down to earth, right? Really good job by 51, just taking the back. Now, if Lamar decided to keep it, first off, it would have been the wrong read, okay? Because number 99 out here does a good job of working out, getting friction onto that tackle, and now he's preventing that quarterback from keeping this thing and taking it. But again, I think that at this point in the game, Belichick basically just told 51, "Hey, wherever that back goes, you're gonna go and tackle him because we gotta take care of at least one of these options." All right, fellas, that last play is gonna do it for this film breakdown. Not a ton to break down in this. I really just wanted to show you guys what the Ravens were doing offensively, how much that stresses a defense, and really the abilities of Lamar Jackson, who did an outstanding job in this game. I thought that it was kind of funny with Collinsworth saying that this was a historical game 2 minutes into the first quarter, into the second quarter, whatever. It just absolute lunacy. This happens every year to New England, and they always find a way to fight back. They're a very well coached football team, and I don't doubt that that their best football is ahead of them. So, with all that being said, guys, I'm the Hook Cam. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it informative, I would really enjoy it if you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It's helping the channel grow, and I can't thank you enough for the support I'm already getting. So with all that being said, guys, that's all I got for you today, and I'll see you next time.